Hey guys, so today I'm doing a bridal makeup tutorial that is drugstore friendly and beginner friendly. First thing I'm doing is pinning my hair back so it does not get in the way. Next I'm just using my moisturizer. I highly recommend not using anything you haven't tried before up to a week before your wedding, just because you would not want to have any breakouts before your wedding. So now I'm just hydrating my face with the Mario Badescu primer water rose water spray, and this is a good dupe for the MAC Fix Plus spray. So now I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder, and these are all the brushes I actually use. I try to keep it quite minimal just because this is supposed to be a beginner friendly tutorial. Anyways, so I could not find, there is no brow product from the drugstore that I found that I like, but I'm not a big brow person, so that's just my personal preference. So with brows, you really want to just focus the darkness on the ends versus like the inner part. But really what you're just trying to do is you're just trying to fill in the sparse areas, because you're just trying to have a very soft look, because this is a bridal soft glam tutorial. So then I'm just using the spoolie to brush through, and don't worry if you make any mistakes, because we're going to go ahead and clean around it with concealer afterwards. So now I'm using this RIMMEL concealer. This is going to be my dupe for the MAC Pro Longwear. If you have drier, or if you have oilier skin, I recommend the Maybelline Fit Me. And I also am recommending to not put the product on the back of your hand. I recommend putting it on like a metal plate like I did, because you would not want to get it on your dress or accidentally leave it on your hand and stain something else on your big day. So really with sculpting your brows, it's really simple with this angled concealer brush from Morphe. It's actually super inexpensive. So now I'm just taking a Real Techniques beauty sponge, which is a dupe for the Beauty Blender, and it is amazing. So now I'm using my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. You can prime with concealer, but I do have to say, this is my hands down, like, most holy grail product. This is the best primer on the planet. If you have to invest in one thing, I highly recommend this eyeshadow primer. Anyway, so I'm just blending that out with that Real Techniques beauty sponge so I can get a flawless finish. And then I am going to actually set it with the RCMA No Color Powder, which is super inexpensive as well. This is a good dupe for the L'Oreal Mercier powder. So I'm just going to go in with Gesso by M.A.C. You can also use Bone by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm just highlighting my brow bone to start off so the look doesn't get muddy. So you can use a transition shade in your crease. There's either soft brown. There's just so many shades you can use. I ended up going with Creme Brulee and Peach Smoothie. I mixed them both together. And I am just buffing that out in my crease with no rhyme or reason, just using windshield wiper motions going back and forth just to create a really blown out effect. So you can, next color you're going to be using is something for your outer corner. There's either Fudge by Anastasia Beverly Hills, you have Swiss Chocolate, you have Cocoa Bear. There's so many different shades. It just depends how much warmth or coolness you want in that shade and how dark you want it. So I ended up going in with Swiss Chocolate by M.A.C, which is a beautiful color, but I do have to say it was very hard to blend. I highly recommend going with something like Cocoa Bear or something else, probably by Makeup Geek, because this matte was really difficult for me to blend out. So pretty much I'm just going back and forth with that more defined brush and then a big fluffy brush. So with the more defined brush, I'm just patting the product on, and with the big brush, I'm just blending the edges. I'm not blending the whole thing around. I'm just blurring the edges so it fades in a nice way. So you can never blend for too long really, but I'm just really going back and forth and going ham on this because I just want this to be beautiful going back and forth. So now I'm taking a flat definer brush and I'm taking that Swiss Chocolate shade and I am just going ahead and lining my eyes with it, so then when I put eyeliner it'll just be really soft and blown out effect. So now you're going to pick a lid color, so it's obviously personal preference. You can have a more shimmery one or a more matte one. I ended up going in with Soft Gold by Anastasia Beverly Hills. If you want to spray your brush with some of that rose water spray, that would be a really good idea to get more pigmentation. So now I'm just lining my eyes with this felt tip eyeliner by Kat Von D. I know that Maybelline has an amazing felt tip liner. I just don't have it on me, but I highly recommend that one. Anyway, so I just took a makeup wipe and cleaned under my eyes. These are my two favorite primers, but we're not going to use them. I really love MAC Strobe Cream, but what we're going to use today is we're going to use the Born to Glow highlighter and the Maybelline Baby Skin primer, which do almost the exact same thing, which I love. So the next thing I am going to be doing, instead of using my MAC color corrector, I'm going to be using the LA Girl corrector, and I'm using the peach tone to correct under the blue circles under my eyes. This step is a little excessive, the color correcting. However, I did want to add it in there because I would do it if I were getting married. So I just used the lavender shade to remove the dullness from my face and created a highlight effect. And note that I'm doing this under my foundation so it can just give me a glow from under. So if you're oily, I highly recommend the L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible Foundation. But I am not. What I usually use is MAC Studio Fix. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm using my L'Oreal Lumi foundation, which is my all-time favorite foundation from the drugstore, and I mixed it with that N.Y.X illuminator to give me a really nice, hydrated, luminous, beautiful glow. So now I'm just pushing this into my skin. I am not rubbing. If you see, I am actually just pressing this into my skin to create an airbrush flawless finish. And don't forget your ears, especially if your hair is going to be up in an updo. And no foundation shade will match you perfectly, therefore I always blend on my neck. So now I'm going back with that Rimmel London Concealer, and I'm just creating a upside down V under my eyes to create a highlighted effect. And I'm going into my chin, my cupid's bow. The reason I do this is because I want to create a balanced highlight. I don't want under my eyes to be super bright. I want it to be like a balance, not just in one area. So now I'm using the same technique that I was doing earlier to blend out the foundation. I'm just pressing that concealer in. And what's really good about the concealer is you can go ahead and clean up around your eyeshadow to make it more sharp. So now I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, which is more my skin tone, less of a highlight shade, and I'm just concealing my blemishes or extra redness that the foundation could not have covered. So now I'm using the COVERGIRL concealer or contour stick. You can get this in different shades. This reminds me of the Tarte contour stick, which I have. I actually like this better, the formula better. Maybe not the shade is perfect for me, but there are definitely a lot of good things to cream contour from the drugstore. So I'm again pressing this into my skin and not rubbing. I think that the nose contouring was a little excessive, but I really liked it. I liked how it came out. So now I'm just baking with the RCMA powder under my eyes for a very short period of time because I don't want to appear crepey. This is just going to really set it and help it stay for a longer period of time. So now I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, which is my hands down all-time favorite holy grail drugstore powder. It has no coverage, it's translucent, but it just gives the most beautiful finish. So I'm using that Morphe brush, and I am going ahead and I am contouring. I believe I'm using the M.A.C Pro Sculpting Powder. That is just my favorite color for bronzing on my skin. Everybody has one that looks better on them, but this is just the one I like, and I know that it's not drugstore, but whatever. So then I use the CORALINA blush by MILANI, and that is literally the perfect dupe for the M.A.C Mineralized blushes. And then I use this M.A.C Mineralized highlighter because there's no highlighter from the drugstore that I particularly prefer, and that just gives you a really nice natural glow, kind of like you're glowing from within. Very pretty. If you have darker skin, I recommend Global Glow by M.A.C. Anyway, so I'm just taking those shades back under my eyes, and I also align my eyes with a nude eyeliner to help open them up without having the harsh part of white. So now I'm curling my eyelashes with my Sally Hansen eyelash curler. I highly recommend using a waterproof mascara on your wedding day because you might cry, you might be sweaty. It just lasts longer, which is really good. I did decide to not do lashes in this video just because I feel like that's a whole nother video to teach you how to put lashes on, but I do feel like lashes are important on your wedding day. Anyway, so I am words are hard for me. So I'm using the M.A.C Edge to Edge liner. I was trying to show you guys that I like the NYX lip liners just as much as M.A.C ones. I just didn't have one in a natural color. So now I'm using Snob by M.A.C. That's just my personal preference because that's just my favorite lip color, and I feel like everyone has their favorite lip color that they want to wear on their wedding day. So now I just use a lip gloss by N.Y.X over that because those are my favorite drugstore lip glosses, and that is just the finished look. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video, and don't forget to leave some video requests. Have a great day, bye, and I hope you guys have an amazing wedding day.